the ice cream man. Alan was halfway through his route when he noticed the ice cream bars were getting soft. Time for a new freezer, he thought. He headed home and moved the melting treats into his basement walk-in, an industrial unit left over from his family's steakhouse business. Alan had been the butcher. When they sold the restaurants and made a fortune, he kept the old freezer. It gave him a reason to keep working. But even butchering whole cows and storing meat for friends wasn't enough. Restless, he took a job driving an ice cream truck. When the freezer in the truck failed, Alan searched online and found a promising replacement. As he pulled up, the seller's garage was open. The freezer looked fine, but the man didn't. He looked hollow, like he hadn't slept in weeks. Alan, a red-haired giant just shy of 6 feet 8 inches, nodded at the unit. "Why so cheap?" The man stared at the ground. "I just need to get rid of it." Alan raised a brow. "What's wrong with it?" A pause, then a sigh. "Honestly, I think it's haunted." Alan smirked. Haunted? The man still wouldn't look up. It came from an ice cream truck. The driver kidnapped a child. Cops chased him. He ran a red light and slammed into an SUV. Killed the whole family, the kid, the ice cream man, everyone. He rubbed his face. "I bought the freezer from the wreck." Ever since then, things started happening. Things I can't explain. Alan didn't press. He didn't believe in ghosts. Never had. Nothing in his life ever gave him a reason to. Alan installed the new freezer and went on his route the next day. At first, everything seemed fine, until it wasn't. One afternoon, while reaching in for a bomb pop, he felt someone tap his shoulder. He whipped around. No one. Another time, he reached in for an orange popsicle and felt a presence press against his back. Firm, cold. Alan shouted, flinging the popsicle into the air as he spun around. Nothing. No footsteps. No wind. "It's that damn story," he muttered, furious. "I let that stupid haunted freezer story get in my head." Idiot. But this wasn't in Alan's head. It was real. The ice cream man who kidnapped that child, who crashed into a family of 4, had survived. Not in body, but in spirit. His soul had latched onto the freezer, and now he wanted to trade the freezer for Alan. The activity around the freezer had gone from unsettling to unbearable. He no longer thought it was just in his head. Either he believed in the paranormal now, or he was losing his mind. Either way, he was right. He was driving down 5th Street when he heard a loud slam from the back of the van, like the freezer door had been slammed shut. Startled, he glanced in the rearview mirror. What he saw nearly made him swerve into a parked car. A man, tall, pale, blank-faced, wearing clothes too bright to be real, sitting on top of the freezer like a crow perched on a power line. Alan snapped his eyes back to the road, heart racing. He took a deep breath, then looked in the mirror again. Nothing. Exhausted, Alan drove home, pulled into the driveway, and collapsed forward, resting his head on the steering wheel. That's when he heard it. The sound of someone sitting down in the passenger seat. He turned. The ice cream man. The same man he saw earlier perched on the freezer. He's just sitting there, right beside him, just smiling. He lunged. Alan screamed as the man crawled over the console and shoved his face into Alan's mouth, forcing himself inside. One shoulder, then the other. Bones cracked. Alan's jaw split sideways. His body convulsed. Eyes rolled back. Limbs spasmed as the figure slid deeper. His arms stretched. His red hair grew longer. He slumped back against the seat, twitching, muttering. The body went still. Then the eyes opened. They weren't Alan's anymore. The ice cream man had returned. The ice cream man just sat there, silent, smiling. He stared at his hands like they were a brand new toy. His fingers were impossibly long. He was fascinated, delighted, curious. He started the truck, flipped the switch. The music began to play. Time to sell ice cream. The ice cream man saw a little boy run out of the house, cash in hand. No mother, no father, no brother, no sister, just him. Alan was well known, well liked. All the parents trusted him. But this was no longer Alan, as little Mason was about to find out. He reached the truck and froze. His small brain struggled to make sense of what he was seeing. It looked like Alan, sort of, but it wasn't. He was taller now. His red hair was longer, brighter, and his face was smeared with blood. The ice cream man smiled. Then, with a mouth that opened impossibly wide, he spoke. "What would you like, Mason? Orange popsicle? Fudge bar? Ice cream sandwich?" Mason didn't respond, couldn't speak, couldn't move. The ice cream man stepped out of the truck. He looked like an adult climbing out of a child's playhouse. He reached out with long, unnatural arms and grabbed Mason. Mason tried to scream, but no sound came out. The man placed him gently, almost lovingly, into the back of the truck. Then he climbed in, shut the door, and drove off. The music played as he disappeared down the street. The ice cream man gathered more children. When the truck was full, he drove home, to what used to be Alan's house. He pulled the ice cream truck into the garage, shut the door behind him, and calmly commanded the children to go downstairs. They obeyed. In the basement, he arranged 5 chairs, one for each child. He sat them down, tied them in place, arms free. Then he walked into the freezer and returned with a box of popsicles. He handed one to each child. They just stared at him, silent, confused, afraid. "Eat," he screamed, blood spilling fresh from his stretched, mangled jaw. So they ate. They licked. They chewed. They swallowed. As soon as they finished, he gave them another, then another, and another. Their bellies swelled. Their lips trembled. Their hands shook, until they couldn't do it anymore. They tried to stop. They cried, but he didn't care. One by one, he moved to each child and forced the popsicles down their throats. No matter how much they screamed, he fed them until their stomachs ruptured, until they suffocated, until they stopped moving. When it was done, he lifted their small bodies and hung them on the meat hooks inside the freezer, popsicle sticks still protruding from their mouths. By the time the police traced the missing children back to Alan's house, the ice cream man was already gone, but he's still out there. And if you ever hear the sound of faint music growing louder, getting closer, run.